Alright, the intro is always the hardest part about your first video, so I'm not going to overcomplicate things. Welcome to the 2K franchise scene channel. So for this first video, I'm going to be starting a series for the rebuild of the New Orleans Pelicans. I give full credit to KOT for a Q for this idea, because he's currently doing this on his Kenny 2 channel, and it really gave me the inspiration to start a channel just to do this. One team I was thinking about was the Pistons, because as you guys know, they're horrible and have the worst record in the league, meaning they're in the race for the #1 pick in the 2023 draft. Because of that, the thought of having the chance to get the first pick and drafting Wemby was intriguing to me, but this team is just set so far back, being they're still a pretty bad team. So doing a series on this team would probably take tons of episodes and videos to complete. Another team I was thinking about was the Timberwolves, because they got a very interesting roster. They have great young guys like Ant, Jaden McDaniels, Naz Reid that have to re-sign this offseason. And they also have real talent, players like Cat, Gobert, Kindly, who's been a good point guard for them, and so on. The reason I didn't pick them though is because you guys know that Gobert trade, it just absolutely ruined their draft capital, and they really have almost no picks for the foreseeable future. I find picks to be a big part of these rebuilds, so being that they don't really have any picks, it really limits the flexibility you have to make moves with this roster and improve them. Another team I was thinking about was the Kings, because they've just been shocking the whole NBA this year, achieving their first playoff berth since 2006, which I don't think anybody expected. They have two All-Stars in Fox and Sabonis, young guys like Keegan Murray, who by the way just became the first rookie in NBA history to make 200 threes in a season. They have veterans like Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter. Like, this team really has a lot going for them. Who knows, they might be the next team I pick to do a series on after this Pelicans one. Another team I was thinking about was the Lakers, because they had a crazy trade deadline, moving on from Russ finally and acquiring guys such as D'Lo, Vanderbilt, who's been really good for them, Mo Bamba from the Pat Bev trade, Malik Beasley. This team has a lot of newcomers I would have been interested in playing with in rebuilding ground. But the reason I didn't pick this team, because you guys know LeBron is old, he's 38, and because of that, in this amazing game of 2K, he decides to retire after 1 or 2 years into the rebuild. Then you can't force him to not retire anymore. Choosing the Lakers would have been interesting, having a shakeup like that, but it would also really set the Lakers back, giving them the same issue with picking the Pistons, where it just takes too long to complete a series with them. Now that that's over with, let's start talking about this draft class. The draft class I'll be using was actually made by me, because if it wasn't obvious enough, I am on current gen, and I don't know how it is on next gen, but on current gen, the draft classes are just really bad. Like, they were missing key guys in this draft that are really important to it. They were missing guys like Grady Dick, Taylor Hendricks, all these loud guys like Jalen Hood Schifino. Like, they were missing a lot of important guys that make this a deep draft class. And without it, it was just making it so at the end of the first round, you would be getting 40 overall auto-generated. Also, in a lot of these drafts, Brandon Miller was like a mid-tier to a low-tier prospect. Meanwhile, in real life, he's its second or third projected pick in this draft. This draft class does include some modded face scans though, like a lot of these top prospects are modded face scans, and for that reason, if you don't download them on websites such as 2K Specialist, you will have issues trying to download this draft class. But to prevent that though, I will be uploading a video before the next episode of this series on how to properly download them, how to get everything, and it should be good when this draft class comes out. The New Orleans Pelicans, they're coming off a huge win last night to the Grizzlies, leaving them at the 8th seed, and they're currently fighting without Zion, by the way, for a playoff spot in such a tight Western Conference. Like, the 5th to 9th seed are only 2 games apart, and there's only 2 games left in the season, maybe 3 for most teams. This is a very talented team when healthy. They have star players such as Zion and Ingram, CJ as the third option, Valanciunas who does so much on the floor. They also have young guys such as Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Halsey Alvarado. They also have veterans such as Josh Richardson. Like, I really do believe this is a team that is one piece away, like a big piece away from being a championship team. Being how many assets this team has, I really think they do have what's necessary to make a big deal like that in the future, which also contributes a lot as to why I picked them for this series. Alright, so for this lineup, you guys know Zion's still injured, so as of right now, they're running the same lineup just without Zion, and they have Trey Murphy starting over him. They still have guys like Josh Richardson, Larry Nance, all these guys off the bench playing for them, but then they also have Herb Jones and Trey Murphy getting more PT and getting to prove themselves as Zion heals. I don't know if this is going to matter because there's only 2 games left in the season, but we may as well do it. Player mentorship. The first person we'll do is Trey Murphy, and because of shooting, I want him to be mentored by CJ McCollum. Like, there's some badges here I think would be important for him. Like, not to say Trey Murphy's a bad three-point shooter, but I think these badges would just obviously help more. One of them being Agent 3. I also want him to improve in the mid-range, so being that CJ has a gold midi magician, we'll give that to Trey Murphy too. And also for the final one, I think volume shoot is good enough. Yeah, this works really well. The next person we'll do is Herb Jones, and I know we just put mentorship on him, but I think Trey Murphy would be a good mentor for him. Like, you guys know Herb Jones isn't the best shooter, but I think these badges over here by Trey Murphy, who is a much better three-point shooter, would really help improve Herb Jones' shooting. The next pair we'll do is Dyson Daniels. I think Anger would be a good mentor for him, exclusively for shooting, because I think he could improve on that. So the first one we'll give him is Catch and Shoot. The next one, I guess you could give Midi Magician. So just like Trey Murphy, improve his mid-range shooting. And the last one, we give him Volume Shooter. And that'll be all for player mentorship. The first of the final 2 games of the regular season versus the New York Knicks. I think despite missing Zion, I think we have a chance at beating this team. So let's start simcasting. After the first, the Pelicans lead by 2. Going into the second, we lead by 2. At the end of the first half, we blew that lead. We are now down by 4 into the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, we're up by 10. We absolutely blew them out that third quarter by 14 points. Let's not blow us in the fourth quarter, please. I think we might. Yep, we won this game. 51 seconds left, we're up by 13. We got this one. CJ McCollum led all scorers with 32 points with 6 of 8 from 3. Valanciunas had 24 points, 18 rebounds. Brandon Ingram had 23, 7, and 6. Lately, he's been having these high assist games. I'm happy for him. Josh Richardson had 12, and Dyson Daniels 10. Trey Murphy 9. That's not encouraging. Jose Alvarado 7, 4, and 3 with 2 steals. Larry Nance 5. Najee, wow, a lot of people scored. Oh, and Herb Jones 0 points in 31 minutes. Not good. Only 0 for 3. We gotta put his shot attempts up. And now, the final game of the season versus the Timberwolves. Let's see if Zion comes back. Zion is not healthy for it. Where is he? Nope, he's still injured. So, we will simulate past this final game. I guess maybe we'll go through rewards. And we'll have to talk about that too, because on 2K, this really messes up with the stats and stuff. But let's get into this final game versus the Timberwolves. After the first quarter, we were up by about 10 points. In the second quarter, we get outscored by 4, and we maintain a 5-point lead going into the second half. In the third quarter, we outscored them by 2, and we are up 6 going into the fourth quarter. And in the fourth quarter, 3 seconds left, we're up by 11. For the final 2 games, we go 2-0, and we beat the Timberwolves by 11. Jonas Valanciunas led all scores today with 25 and 12 rebounds, 5 or 8 from 3. CJ McCollum, 24 points, 9 assists, 3 threes. Ingram had 23 and 10 with 7 assists, another high assist game for him. Trey Murphy, a little bit better game, 1 for 6 from 3 though, 15 points. Josh Richardson, 14. Herb Jones, 11, that's better than no points in 31 minutes. Dyson Daniels, 9. Larry Nance, 8. And all these guys down here. Alright, so ending the regular season, we go 2-0, and we finish with the 43 and 39 record. Joel Embiid wins MVP, Rookie of the Year. Yeah, this is what I was talking about before. In Start Today on 2K, it really just messes up stats, and it has Marjan Beauchamp. Not even like randomly every time he wins Rookie of the Year. Alright, so for these awards that the 2K glitch messed up, we're going to be going off betting odds. So for example, instead of Marjan Beauchamp being the Rookie of the Year, betting odds say that Paolo will win Rookie of the Year, so in this simulation, he'll win Rookie of the Year. And then what is due for the rest of the awards, like 6th Man of the Year, DPOY, Most Improved Player. Like, all of these will go off betting odds, and I'll come back to you guys to show you who won. On Coach of the Year, you can't override and change, so Joe Mazzulla, congratulations. Alright, so after changing everything, 6th Man of the Year goes to Emmanuel Quickly. And I'll put these all up on screen, by the way, so you guys don't think I'm cheating. Like, these are the actual betting odds. I'm not just giving it to these players. DPOY goes to Jaren Jackson Jr. He's just been having a crazy defensive year, averaging 3 blocks and 1 steal. That's just insane. Most Improved Player goes to Larry Markkinen. He's really just been having such a great year. He went from being a role player and averaging 15 points in Cleveland to being an all-star, yes, an all-star in Utah, averaging 25 points, 8 assists, 40% from 3, nearly a steal and a block per game. Like, he's just been having such a breakout year. And next, all NBA teams. I think for this part, it is going to be unrealistic, and this is where I do have to chime in and like fix something. So I'll come back to you guys when I fix everything. So after changing everything, all NBA first team, we have Luka, Donovan Mitchell, Giannis, Tatum, and your MVP Embiid. All NBA second team, got Shea, Dame, Sabonis, Jimmy Butler, and Jokic. All NBA third team, you have John Morant, James Harden, DeRozan, Laurie, and Randall. All defensive first team, got OG, Drew Holiday, Jaden McDaniels has been great on defense this year, Brook Lopez, and your DPOY Jaren Jackson Jr. All defensive second team, we got Shea, Mikal Bridges, Jimmy Butler, Miles Turner, and Nick Claxton. All rookie first team, we got Benedict Mathurin, Jaden Ivey, Paolo, your rookie of the year, Walker Kessler, who's just been having such a great year, and Jalen Williams. This is a tough pick between him and Jabari Smith Jr., by the way. All rookie second team, you got Shaedon Sharpe, Andrew Nembhard. Like, this one, you had really slim pickings. Like, for the guards, there really weren't many other guys that you would pick over him. So yeah, I had to eventually go on Nembhard. Keegan Murray, Jalen Durham, and Jabari Smith on the all-rookie second team. And after those two wins, the Pelicans will be the 6th seed. They'll be avoiding the play-in tournament, and they'll be going off against the Sacramento Kings in the first round. We'll be simulating this play-in tournament, and then next episode, we'll be starting the playoffs. So for the Western Conference, 7th versus 8th seed, you have the Warriors versus the Clippers. 9th versus 10th, you have the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Dallas Mavericks. This means that the Thunder missed the play-in tournament. Whoa. For the Eastern Conference, you have the 7th versus 8th seed, Miami Heat going up against the Atlanta Hawks. And for the 9th versus 10th seed, you have the Toronto Raptors versus the Chicago Bulls. The first game we'll do, which I think will be very interesting, is this game versus the Warriors versus the Clippers. Oh my god, I just simulated the whole play-in tournament. This is the playoff picture after the final games of the regular season and the play-in tournament. Next episode, we'll be doing this first round matchup of the Pelicans versus the Kings. This will be fun. Thank you all for watching this video. This was a fun first video on this channel, and see you guys all for episode 2.